Welcome to the channel, everyone. This is Can I Be Earnest, back with another video. To any of my new viewers out there, if you want different takes, different perspectives on social commentary, this is the channel to come to. And I'm going to jump right into it. I'm a little annoyed right now with the way the news cycle is going. Do you remember once upon a time when Bill Gates and Dr. Fauci and a few others just went in rotation in the news? You couldn't get rid of these guys. They were the experts to everything that was going on 5 years ago. They were just on your television screen. They were all through your feed. They were everywhere. Now, not so much. I'll even bring it a little more, recent. Maybe about, November, December. Remember the whole hysteria with the drones flying over New Jersey and just various locations throughout the country, throughout the world at that. All these, UAPs, UFOs, whatever you want to refer to them as, everywhere. Dominating the news cycle, dominating your YouTube feed, dominating your social medias. Quiet as a church mouse as we approach the spring months. And now we have talk of a recession. That's taking over the news now. Denzel Washington once said, and I'm paraphrasing, he once said, if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. And if you do watch the news, you're misinformed. And truer words haven't been spoken. They're a big part of this whole matrix, the news cycle. They keep us in constant hysteria with the fear mongering and things of that nature. And it's imperative that you detach yourself from that for good. And if you're uninformed, you're just uninformed. Because I'm at the point now where, okay, now the recession talk is going to dominate the news. And then what? What was it last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, with the rent skyrocketing, with the mortgages being what they are? What is that referred to as? Why is it only a recession when the Dow Jones just takes a nosedive and everyone's 401ks kind of look a little messy? What's the terminology to use when it's just chaos everywhere, when people can't afford homes, people can't get their own apartments, car notes are through the roof if you go out here and try to get a new car? The job situation with the way, recruiters are ghosting and just the way the market is in general, where it is an employer's market and they are just throwing ghost jobs out there left and right. What's the name for all of that hysteria? And why is the news so hush hush about it? There should be stories about this every day until something's done. So November, we had all the hysteria, all the hoopla for the presidential election. Then comes the whole UAP hysteria and what's happening, what's going on, are we being invaded? All of this was going on in the wintertime. And then here comes January and it just shifted. And as the weather begins to warm up, we're going to have to endure possibly 6 more months, if not longer, of all this possible recession talk. It's pretty much come to this. If you really want to detach yourself from everything, take the news out of your day-to-day routine. You might even have to really deactivate or delete your social medias. Because if not, these guys take you on one episode after the other. And I'm just curious to see what's going to come about with this now, since everyone's jumping on this topic. Someone in my comments a few videos ago, this could have been about, maybe last year sometime, mentioned that we were in a recession then. That he was like, hey, listen, we've been in a recession. But it takes the news media to make it like a headline story all of a sudden. It's very tricky, man. And I don't know. I'm really curious if this goes on in other countries. Just a roller coaster ride. It's like every 5 to 10 years. You know, the recession, the housing crisis of '08, you know, I remember that vividly, and I remember feeling it, but I also felt it from a employee perspective. I just remember the jobs were very scarce at that time. Like, you can feel it. The same feeling I had then, I sort of had the last year or so with the job market, maybe the last 2 years. Not necessarily with the housing market. You know, we know what they're doing with the prices. Everything's just inflated right now. And again, I would love to know what the name is for that and why nothing's been done about that. Why hasn't that been regulated before we get into this recession talk? It's like, it feels like they're trying to really milk the everyday citizen dry. We're going to just milk you. We're going to wipe you out of all your resources. We're going to inflate everything, and we're going to throw a recession at you, and you won't know what's coming. Like, they're trying to hit you with everything and the kitchen sink. And I just don't know if this happens in other countries. I'm really curious. Because if you get too caught up, you know, and then you're gonna have all these financial gurus saying why it's important to just, you know, invest in Bitcoin and crypto and all this financial guru talk. What does any of that mean? Is that recession proof? I don't want to see anybody tell me, you know, that's why you need to have crypto. Why? How does that get me and others through the shit show of 2025 and beyond? There's so many unspoken topics that have like plagued society beyond 2020, beyond the pandemic years, things that go back 10 years ago that we still haven't recovered from. And it's just so hush hush. No one speaks on it. It's a couple of minutes here, a couple of minutes there, and then it's gone. It disappears from your news cycle. And then we get hit with another, you know, whammy. It's very annoying. And I'm going to pay close attention. I'm going to be watching very intently over these next few weeks just to see how Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, all the local stations, how they, you know, transition into this recession talk. Because it just seems like everyone's in cahoots and just keeping everyone leveled. There's no hope for the future. How do you get optimistic about the future when they constantly hit you with something? We heard about Project 2025. You know, we've yet to see everything unfold, but, you know, we know it's coming. And I'm sure the recession is a part of that. But it's like, does anyone else go through this? If you're from another country watching right now, please enlighten me on how your country's economics run. Does your government keep you in constant fear? I'd love to know.